Manpower where you push back at the Mach 90 and the bushwhacker. If you a gangster, what make you run suffer? What make you piece up your pants suffer? Just
Yang Cheng, codename Solar Monitor.
Me rifle off the answer for pussy where you discreet from flank offer. That me a go kill you and your father for.
Yang Cheng was born in Chicago, Illinois on August 4, 1898. Yang Cheng was born an only child to philanthropist parents of a family of Chinese diplomats. The origin of their family's wealth comes from the notorious pirate known as Shi Yang aka Qing Shi. Yang Cheng's grandmother on his father's side, Shi Yang was a Chinese pirate leader active in the South China Sea from 1801 to 1810. Due to her years of internationally blundering a violently enormous amount of natural resources such as copper, silk, gold, platinum, iron, wheat, spices, steel, dynamite, brass, gunpowder, coal, bronze, weapons, nitroglycerin, acid, plutonium and uranium ores, when Shi Yang was caught, she was not only able to buy her way into being pardoned for her crimes, but buying China and the rest of the governments of Asia. This resulted in the rest of her whole family inheriting the world's biggest surplus of the aforementioned natural resources. During an arms-dealing trip to Beijing on September 4, 1901, Yang Cheng's parents was arming the Boxer army with weapons and a black book of Chinese Christians and turncoats for the Eight-Nation Alliance. Days after the deal on September 7, Yang Cheng's parents and everyone involved in the arms deal was snitched on by gunpowder competitor Zidane Chua, Eric Zidane's uncle, and the Boxer Protocol aka the Shin-Cho Treaty was signed. As retaliation, the Vatican, the Queen of England, the Jonas family, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire ordered to have Yang Cheng's parents and everyone involved publicly executed by only white soldiers of the Eight-Nation Alliance by being burned alive, leaving Yang Cheng an orphan. Feeling betrayed by his own people and traumatized by Caucasians and Christianity for the murder of his parents, Yang Cheng vowed to spend the rest of his life making white people suffer and the Asian race enslaved for failing to do nothing about Christianity infecting the East, and whitewashing his culture. Yang Cheng does this while pretending to be a revolutionary similar to an Asian doppelganger to the former governor of Chihuahua Francisco Villa for the civil rights of Asians against Western colonization and imperialism. Former governor of Chihuahua, Mexico Francisco Villa aka Pancho Villa, is one of Yang Cheng's many idols next to Marquis de Sade, the dogmeat general of Shandong, China, Zhang Zongcheng, and Emperor Yang of the Chinese Sui dynasty of China, which began in August 21, 604 and ended April 11, 618. Yang Cheng conjures their spirit energy to empower his own with witchcraft. Since being orphaned, the rest of Yang Cheng's family was killed off both by the Eighth-Nation Alliance and Yang Cheng himself. Yang Cheng killed off his own bloodline for human sacrifices as well as to be the only beneficiary of his grandmother's inheritance. Due to this, Yang was officially the world's richest man. The Skukgor family was the world's richest family as of 1945 and had a family of 20,000 members, each not as rich as Yang Cheng. On December 23, 1913, Yang Cheng decided to get training from the Lemurian Academy to perfect his mind, body, and martial arts abilities. Usually those that are not Lemurian are prohibited from these teachings due to it being used for evil intentions by non-Lemurians. However, Yang Cheng provided too much natural resources for 4 of the 9 members of the head council to refuse. Yang Cheng was given way too much access to sacred Lemurian crystals and elemental manipulation abilities. Other members of the council found out about the 4 members teaching Yang Cheng in secret and giving a diabolical non-Lemurian access to sacred martial arts and crystals storing Earth's history and the secrets of the universe, and the 4 Lemurians that sold out were excommunicated from the Lemurian Council. Those 4 excommunicated Lemurians started a separate sect of Lemurians which are known as rogues. Yang decided to give the rogues work and decided to take care of them as long as they make hell on humanity and have fun doing it, while helping with his own New World Order agenda. Yang's goal was to network for his dream project which was known as Unit 731, and to make Asia and the West 100% communist. Even though Yang Cheng had a love for science and genetics, he became a mercenary from 1920 to 1940. On Christmas Day 1937, Yang Cheng met Hector Quan in China while being in the same squadron during a tactical withdrawal operation during the Nanking Massacre. The experience they had together was hell on earth for Hector, but an orgasmic adrenaline rush of non-stop bloodshed for Yang Cheng, who often loved to use Chinese little girls as bait for Japanese soldiers, which Hector had to end up breaking Yang Cheng's arm for almost getting an 3-year-old sodomized by a Japanese imperial soldier because Yang Cheng drenched her clothes in pheromones for bait. Regardless of what anyone thinks of Yang Cheng's ways, Yang Cheng feels children is the best weapon for any form of warfare. The experience in Nanking was so fun for Yang Cheng decided to be an instigator by funding the Chinese and Japanese government's atrocities against each other and their own civilians. After World War II started, Yang Cheng's narcissism and megalomania gotten out of control and Yang Cheng was officially drawn to using children in his operations. Yang Cheng decided to launch a pedophile blackmail operation on world leaders, and members of the military, board of education, union leaders, law enforcement, government, and Hollywood in order to have ownership of the central bank and the Federal Reserve. Yang Cheng's natal chart is top secret. However, it's rumored by Hector Quan and Martin Loomis based on Yang Cheng's OSS file, Yang Cheng's sun, moon, and rising placements are all in the sign of Leo.
Strange things we not go condone. When you see people picking it, leave them alone. How we not go call? See no people fun. If a teacher boy start molest me son, how we not go call? Me last and me con. Last and no rasta them boy get a ton. How we not go call? I head up to go roll. If a boy a molest me 5-year-old, how we not go call? If me get fool, I mean not stop till me achieve me goal. We live in a slackness like how we tired. We have one, everybody keep quiet. The man a roll and nobody na riot. Touch over son, boy you dead like Goliath. How we a go call? See no people fun. If a teacher boy start molest me son, how we a go call? Me last on me gun. Rasta no rasta them boy they a ton.